Drunk, you're gonna get another drunken hug tonight. I don't care what anyone says. You're getting a drunken hug. You too. You too. Drunken hugs are coming tonight.
What the fuck? First of all, drunken hug is definitely a code word. And Lil Baby and Meek Mill sharing the same blanket? Nah. I'm gonna tell y'all some real shit. These white men that groom these celebrities wanna see these dudes do some weird gay shit. For one, that's how they get the celebrities to bond without any competition within their industry. And two, it's how they stop them from speaking out on things they're not supposed to speak out on. It's called blackmail. So they will have these celebrities team up and do some gay shit because that's how these white men keep their mouths closed. And all of the celebrities are in on this. All of them niggas know they gay. For real. And all them niggas know that them white men control them. These aren't celebrities, they're puppets. And they are groomed by white men. None of these niggas is gangsters.
That motherfucker back there is not real.
If you guys have been keeping up with this situation, a lot of people believe that this young lady in this video saw a shapeshifter on that flight. Now, I don't know this young lady and I was not on the flight, but I do have a story to share. Over 10 years ago now, I used to work for Walmart. And around Christmas time, there was this lady who would come in, and every time she came in, she would be singing like gospel music. But she would be singing it to the top of her lungs. Like, we would hear her wherever we were in the store. She literally would come in singing these songs to the top of her lungs. And every single time she would come in, she would get the same thing, a bundle of bananas. That's it. So this particular day, she comes in and she's singing, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. But for some reason, like in my spirit, the song as she was singing it to me felt as though she was kind of singing it in a taunting way, like, it's me, oh Lord, like, if you get what I'm trying to say. So I get this like weird feeling inside of me because I am a strong believer in the Lord, Christ, Jesus, God, big God. So as she begins to make her way past my register, because you know how Walmart is set up, even if you're a cashier, it's still like a lane where people can walk. You know, they'll have like a nail shop, stuff like that. So as she begins to walk past my register, we kind of lock eyes. And in my head, I'm like, this is weird. Like, I just got a very uneasy feeling. And when she looked over at me, I shit you not, the entire white of her eyes went black. Like the inside of her eyes just spread. And she kind of smirked. So me being a believer, I immediately pointed at her and I said, and I started praying. I can't tell you the prayer that I said now because it literally was something that just came out of me. And I was like, I know what you are, you know, and I went into prayer. So when I do this woman starts back walking, but her head is still turned towards me. I can't say that her eyes were looking at me because they were completely black. So I couldn't, I don't know. But her head was still facing me as she began to walk off. So at this point, I have like goosebumps on my arm, everything. I look over at one of my coworkers and we lock eyes. And before I could say anything, she was like, I saw that shit too. Me being a believer and very spiritually inclined, I've run into a lot of different types of entities that I notice immediately. And when I see them, it's like people really don't see them the way that I am clearly seeing them. So when I saw this video, it was kind of triggering to me. Especially because I had a situation on like the MARTA, my very first time ever getting on the MARTA when I was in college, going downtown with some of my friends. I saw, I don't know what it was because we can say shapeshifters, aliens, demonic entities, whatever, but I know what I saw. And in that situation, I remember it being extremely hot. And this guy gets on the MARTA and he has like on a hoodie, some sunglasses, a book bag. And I just remember thinking in my head, like, dang, he looked hot, you know? And no quicker than I had that thought, he looked over at me. Like I said, he had on sunglasses. His head turns towards me. And then he kind of pulls the top of his glasses down. And he locks eyes with me. But when he locks eyes with me, he kind of grins and then turns his head. Now, if you've ever seen The Devil's Advocate, that scene where the wife is in the dressing room with the black woman who shapeshifts in front of her, this is the closest description of what I can give as to what happened to the side of his face. His grin, like his grin got long, and like his face kind of sunk in on the side. It was extremely creepy. And I turned to my homegirl and I was like, girl, well, I was like, bitch. I was like, did you see that? And she was like, hell yeah. She was like, but we about to get off at the next stop. So we ended up getting off at the next stop or whatever. But I said all this to say that we are living in times where the veil is being lifted. You can take that how you want. You can be a believer, disbeliever, whatever you call it. We are in the middle of a spiritual warfare. And whether this woman was drunk, on drugs, whatever, because I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't there. And there's different stories coming out. Regardless, I know I was sober on both accounts and along with any of the other accounts that I've had. So this day and time, y'all, stay guarded, stay prayed up, and just be aware of your surroundings because everything is not what we think.
Let's agree that it should not be okay to use racial slurs against any ethnicity in any film like this. Because the way these characters talk about white people is incredibly regressive. Because boy, does the main character Shuri love throwing around that term colonizer, which is really kind of funny to me. Because she's got some kind of holier-than-thou attitude when we know that the Wakandans, while colonization slavery was going on, they sat around and did nothing.
Narcissistic, a disorder wherein a person has inflated sense of self-importance, sense of entitlement, exploits others without guilt or shame, lives in a fantasy world that supports their delusions. What is the definition of a colonizer? A country that sends settlers to place and establish political control over it. You're saying it's wrong for Shuri to call the white people she sees colonizers because it's ignorant. If you feel that way, you're entitled to your feelings. Anytime we try to bring up history and recognize it for what it is and bring the truth of it, since they cover up everything, we get called ignorant, black supremacists, rude. I did a live stream and I was reacting to this. Someone had commented and said, you shouldn't tell Caucasians that they don't have the right to speak on something. There were white people who were beating alongside black people to make the country a better place. I don't want to unfollow you, but it looks like I'll have to. Of course, there were white people helping during slavery and the Underground Railroad. But this is what makes it an issue for me. When we talk about the real facts of history, like the human consumption, homoeroticism, the slave culture, and when somebody talks the real, during the time of the things that our ancestors were going through, they didn't have a chance to speak up about how they feel or what's actually going on or tell the truth. So now when we have the chance to, it's ignorant? Oh, you're not considering the feelings of the people you're talking about. You don't have to say it that way. It's the truth. How else am I supposed to say it? Just professionally? It is not no problem or no hate with white people. There are white people all over TikTok constantly speaking out and trying to talk to white people about white superiority, about racism. And they be on it video after video trying to defend black people. But it's always that one person who comes in and try to gaslight the situation and say, well, white people were in chains too. And there's police brutality. Somebody wants to say blue lives matter. It shows no recognition of the main topic, which is how 9 ether beings were treated. It's literally narcissistic when somebody is talking about how they feel and they come with the facts about how they feel to another person, and the other person just keeps bringing up, well, you did this to me. You're not perfect either. You do so-and-so. Just trying to make the other person feel bad. And then the person becomes a people pleaser, not recognizing their own feelings, and becomes an Uncle Ruckus. That was my point about saying he should sit it out. And in the movie, what were they doing with the vibranium? Trying to sneak, colonize, and take the vibranium from them behind their backs. So was she wrong?
Thank you. And I don't know why people be thinking it's a conspiracy when people be saying random things like this.
So acknowledge them. And before that, even the dinosaur nation, Dinosaur Oyate, before that, the star people, also our reptilian relatives.
Hold up. Wait a minute. What?
Now, people are not just saying things like that for no reason. Now, what I want to bring to y'all attention today is what I experienced because it was crazy. So I went to go chill with my auntie and my cousin today. So when I get over there, my auntie was watching Judge Judy. I come inside, we greet each other, and I started watching Judge Judy with her. Not too long after, my cousin come out. He started watching it with us as well. Now tell me why this mind just busts out of nowhere and was like, bro, she like a fucking lizard. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like there's just more clarification for me to know that these reptilians actually exist. Because for my cousin to not be into none of this and for him to just say that out of nowhere. Now, I never watched The Inside Job, and I hate that they canceled it. But what I find crazy is that when I literally got on my phone, when I clicked on TikTok, the first video I see was this.
Well, Reagan, the bad news is if you lose this trial, it may mean war. The good news is I got you the best lawyer who cost us nothing.
Don't worry about it, honey. I can convince anyone of anything. Just today, I convinced myself I was a lawyer.
Please welcome our High Justice of the Reptoid Court, the immortal Queen of Darkness herself, Judge Judy!
Thank you, bailiff. I have a shoot in 20 minutes, so let's make this quick. What are the charges?
Now I shit you not, that was the first video that popped up on my phone when I clicked on TikTok at my auntie house. But like, nah, straight up, I don't even see how people can even think other life forms existing is a conspiracy. Especially when you have people like the so-called president saying things like this.
They exercise strict control over us.
Now, you know, there are a lot of people that are going to examine your facial expressions here, every twitch, everything, and say, and of course, so did you look? Did you see? Did you explore?
I can't reveal anything.
Oh, really? Because President Clinton said he did go right in, and he did check, and there was nothing.
Well, you know, that's what we're instructed to say.
And he is not the only one that has showed us how they can reveal certain information.
Now, you said something on social media the other day that outer space is the ocean.
Right.
Explain that.
I can't do it.
You can't explain it?
I can explain it, but I don't want to explain it on camera.
I wonder why. But we all know what they say about those conspiracy theories.
About your conspiracy, brother.
There aren't that many conspiracy theories anymore because we found out that all conspiracy theories, there's a nugget of truth in there. It came from somewhere. That's where it became a theory. And then it progressed to the point where it became a conspiracy theory because there was something there. See, in our industry, who pays you is who tells you what narrative you're allowed to use. And I'm not paid, so I own my narrative. Wow. So if in media somebody's getting paid.
I've got one that can see.
Yeah.
So it's this video that's going viral on the internet. So apparently, the creator of this video is claiming that these are the reptilians. And when I seen that video, I had to give a comment. I said they been here, but that's not them though. Me making that comment led to this comment right here, and I'm finna answer your questions in this video. Okay, so to answer your first question, where are they? They are everywhere on this planet, but the ones that have the position of power that's controlling this reality are some of your news reporters, a lot of people that are in the music industry, and also the sports industry as well. And most definitely, a lot of our presidents and governors. Now, those reptilians who have those specific positions are the reptilians that are in power of controlling this reality. And call me crazy because I experienced this myself, but you also have ones walking amongst us as well. That's what this whole movie was about. Go watch the movie called They Live. This wasn't a movie, it was a documentary. Now, my experience I had with a reptilian was crazy. I didn't actually see one in its full form, but I seen like the eyes of one. And I'm gonna explain it to y'all in another video. I'm finna prove to y'all in this video that reptilians actually exist. Now, like I stated before, these are not the reptilians. What would be a more truer depiction of what a reptilian is? It would be her, and I'm finna explain how. So these reptilians are fourth dimensional beings, and they have abilities of their nature. They can go through metamorphosis, aka shapeshift, and make their appearance look totally different. So with these reptilians having the ability to shapeshift, it gives them a way to manipulate us. But they can't hold a human form for a long time. Reasons why y'all see videos like this.
School that led to Chris Wood's death. High school that led to Chris Wood's death. Wood's death. Wood's death. Wood's death. Wood's death.
full video, but in the full video, he tried to like make it seem like something was flying in his mouth. Come on now, we all seen his tongue stick out like that. But wait y'all, that's not it. I got way more convincing evidence.
Now keep in mind, this is the family story, their account of what they say happened here on campus earlier this month. Unfortunately, we weren't able to reach the school district for comment.
I'm running out of time. Comment part 2 if y'all want a part 2 on this video. I'm gonna end up making a part 2 anyway because I got way more convincing evidence that reptilians actually exist. But yeah, that's not CGI. CGI won't cause you to have to get out the camera.